All right, y'all, welcome back to the podcast. And for this episode, I am sitting on the front porch of the Laurel River Club Bed and Breakfast. I see a beautiful redwood tree that maybe we will get into here shortly. But y'all, I am back with the manager of the grounds, the farm, so many things that I am learning over this past weekend with Marsha Waybright. So Marsha, welcome back to the podcast.
Oh, it's so fun to have you here. We've had such a great weekend.
Oh my goodness. I'll just start with our drive here was absolutely beautiful, blue skies. And once you hit the state of West Virginia, so we would be driving north from North Carolina, the mountains, backcountry driving. It was an amazing drive in here. One of the things I want to do, Marsha, is talk to you more. We've had this amazing weekend. So last episode, we told everybody what was going to be going on, and it was a film festival premiere for a film called Time Alone, and we got to spend time together in fellowship. You're an entrepreneur. This is a business. It's ongoing. Things don't stop. But recap the past day and a half of things that have been going on here and kind of your overall synopsis of the weekend so far.
Well, our whole point of this weekend, how would you survive, is to get people together and help them to learn some of the survival skills. So we had a lot of, we had Brian Roy, who teaches search and rescue. Of course, we had you to come and speak. And we had Nicole and Kevin from the Allegheny Trail.
Yeah, we had a nice round, I call it a panel discussion.
Yeah. And it was a lot of fun because it was just casual conversation. People had such a great time learning. And that's what we do here. We create experiences. A lot of people say, do you teach classes? No, we don't. We create experiences for people to come here and have a great time while they learn different things. We taught people how to make salves and tinctures, how to find water, how to find food on the trail and what to do and what not to do on the trail, how to be found. We also covered Safe and Found, and it was just an awesome weekend of people who came together to just have a good time and learn.
Yeah, and indeed we did. So I learned so much. What is intriguing me out of all of this, I don't want to rank this, but I am so intrigued with entrepreneurship, business. It's kind of what I teach at school during my day job, education. And that is what you guys are doing on this property. So let's go back and give people some history about these grounds. And I didn't realize that the town you are sitting in, it's Jenningston, right?
Correct.
So you showed me a picture, and your farm used to be a live, thriving business with multiple homes. It was a town in this whole stretch. And I'm going to take a picture of that picture and put it in the show notes so people could see that. But talk to us about the evolution of actually this farm, this business, kind of back in the early 1900s, right?
Right. So this house was actually built in 1905, and it was town square. So, we're sitting on the front porch here looking out through the hayfield. And, we see the stargazing glamping dome, and that dome actually sits on a portion of the foundation of the old lumber mill that was here at that time. Now, just to give you kind of an idea, that lumber mill was the second largest lumber mill in the state of West Virginia at that time. So this was a big deal. This wasn't just some little town. This town lasted for about 20 years. So what happened to the town? Everybody always asks me, what happened to all the buildings and, where did everything go? Well, what happens when you cut the last tree?
There's nothing else.
You got to move on to another location. And so that's basically what happened. All of the houses were torn down and reused for their lumber, and they moved to the next location. And so this house is the only thing that's left other than the barn that gives anybody an indication that there was a town here.
So interesting. So one of the first things we did yesterday is we pulled up in the van and we took a walk basically around the entire property of what we see. We went over to the right, down to the river. You've got a big area down there where people could sit. You can have a bonfire. You've got everything from hogs to lambs to chickens to turkeys. and your educational component. And then your son yesterday gave a talk on his falconry. And I was just so impressed. I had no idea, actually, I guess, what a falconer did. The training of the birds that they encompass, the hunting process, and just his thoughts around like hunting, conservation. It was a great talk. You ought to be proud of him.
Oh, yeah, we are. My husband and I have watched him. He's been doing this since he was 14. He's a master class falconer in the state of West Virginia, and he is very passionate about teaching about those birds. And he's got a heart for not only teaching, but he also loves to learn. So he continues in everything that he's doing to create this environment that just sucks people in and allows you to kind of step into the life of the birds of prey.
It was so interesting. Like, I actually could have listened to him talk for hours. I mean, there were so many people asking questions. I was impressed. Even this morning when I saw him, I was coming over to get some coffee, and I said, "Oh man, I would love to see you take that red-tailed hawk out and actually have it catch a squirrel. I just think that would be awesome." So, and me coming from, I mean, I live in a city. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. So these things we don't see every day. And this is what I crave as a hiker, somebody that wants to come and have an experience, maybe get out on the trail. And the Allegheny Trail, where are hikers coming in? So if I were to see some hikers coming in, where do they first see your property?
So they actually first see our property at the end of the road. And then as they're walking up the lane, they get this view of everything that we do here, from the stargazing glamping dome to the sheep. But the Allegheny Trail actually runs right through the farm. So both sides of the road down at the bridge is where it cuts right through. And so, people get to that intersection down there and, they have a couple options. They can primitive camp down by the road, or they can walk on up here and stay at the bed and breakfast. We take care of our hikers. We always have and we always will. And, we love to meet the people who come through here.
And you guys will help them too, maybe getting to the next point where the next resupply is. If you are hiking south, is this the beginning of Section 2?
The beginning of Section 2, hiking from the south, would be Blackwater Falls.
Okay.
So, but we're mile marker about 111 coming from the north and mile marker 200 coming from the south.
Okay. So you guys are at what I consider a pivotal point for people. So they've either come a certain direction and they're ready for a respite, or they're heading north and they've only got 100 miles or so left at the trail.
Right.
So you can get them well fed, get them showered, good bed for the night, and then head the hiker all the way. So I think that's awesome. And you can also help section hikers out. If they want to come stay at your property for the weekend, you'll shuttle them up. They can hike back to the property. In fact, Kevin and Nicole with the Allegheny Trail, they've already been driven up the trail this morning.
Yep.
And they're going to hike back here to their car. So excellent opportunity for anybody that wants to get away and just come enjoy. Like, I'm enjoying just sitting here on the front porch.
Yeah. Whether you want a digital detox or you want a, bigger adventure, we have it all here. You can come and rest and relax, or, we can teach you how to hunt, fish. We do all kinds of different things here. So you can have as much adventure as you want, really.
Yeah, you can make it your own weekend or week, whatever you want to do. So let's talk about entrepreneur Marsha.
So I was Business Person of the Year.
Yes.
In Tucker County.
Okay.
For 2024. And we actually have 7 businesses that run out of this farm.
All right, rattle them off for us.
So we have Laurel River Club Bed and Breakfast. We have Laurel Fork Farm, which provides all the farm-to-table food for the bed and breakfast. And it's also an educational farm. We have the West Virginia School of Traditional Skills. We have Redhead and Mud Boots. She's a photographer and a crafter. My son is a Laurel Fork Falconer. My daughter it's Kendra Page. And then we have Chicken Tender, which is my youngest daughter.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so I counted them as you said that. So that is 7 businesses out of here, and it's a family affair is what I'm taking.
Yes. I've often said to my husband, we should have had more kids.
One thing I'm going to add to you, Marsha, you're a storyteller. Because last night we had an amazing evening just kind of hanging out in the front room here. And you were just telling stories. And I mean, my stomach was hurt. We were laughing so hard.
It was a great time. Yeah.
So, and I imagine that's how you guys are. Are you very interactive with the guests?
We're as interactive as guests want to be. So if they're staying in the dome, they're more than welcome to come up and participate in things that are going on at the house. People can go out to the river, and if they want to be by themselves, we give them. But at the same time, it's almost, we get a lot of guests who say that it's like coming to visit family rather than staying at a bed and breakfast, because oftentimes we just gather in the living room and we just talk, we learn from each other, and we just have a good time. It's a very relaxed atmosphere. And, we have all kinds of board games and all kinds of kind of getting back to the digital detox type stuff. We do what people used to do and just sit in the living room and chat and have a good time.
And that we did last night. Indeed. We were all, after the film, it was so dark. It felt like it was 10 o'clock at night, but it was really only like 7:15.
Yeah.
So we all kind of, got drinks and maybe a little snack and gathered in the front room. And next thing I knew, it was like 10 o'clock.
Yep.
I mean, so, spending 3 hours of quality time with like-minded individuals, that was a lot of fun last night. So what's next for you guys? What are you working toward next? Is there like anything for Thanksgiving, anything coming up that you guys are working on for the next thing after this movie weekend?
We have a pre-Thanksgiving dinner that will be happening the Sunday before Thanksgiving. All the guests who come, or we'll probably open that up to the general public as well so people can come and learn. And, a traditional Thanksgiving dinner to us is using as much as you possibly can off the farm. And so that includes what you're able to grow and have fresh from the farm. And that's really what a traditional West Virginia Thanksgiving is all about, just using everything that you have off the farm.
Excellent.
What you grow.
Excellent. So y'all, there's still more things coming up for you guys to do. And the last thing I wanted to close with is the tree that we're looking at here out front. So tell everybody, this is not native to the area or the property, right?
That's correct. That is a Sequoia, and it was planted about 40 years ago, whenever the Salavera family first bought this farm. And so it's just gorgeous right now. It's just absolutely gorgeous. That orange color, it's
stunning.
Yes.
Stunning. As soon as you pull up, it's like, holy cow, absolutely stunning. So y'all, we will leave you with that. The only thing I can say is Marsha is on all the socials. I'll make sure all of that is in the show notes. And thank you so much for an amazing weekend. I truly appreciate you inviting me here. And I promise you, this is not my last time through here.
Oh, we can't wait to have you back. It's been so much fun.
Yeah, we've got more chatting to do. So, all right, y'all, as always, be safe out there and happy section hiking.